Hey guys, today is a special day. I got a comic here which I wanted to review and take you guys through, which is something which I wanted to get my hands on for quite some time, and that's Batman Gothic. It's one of the first earliest books by Grant Morrison, and I had a hard time getting a copy of it because it's not very easy to find nowadays, and this is an old copy. This is on the left is just a sketch which I did, where I wanted to bring together two characters from two different universes, DC and Marvel. I just thought of putting it out there for you guys to show what I'm up to during this free time. Right. Anyways, Batman Gothic. Let's get right into it. Grant Morrison and I think it's Klaus Janson. I think that's how it's spelled. A very beautiful car, and a back cover as well. So it's one of the tagline for it is "Evil casts no shadow." So it's about a villain called Mr. Whisper, and this is kind of like a fantasy thriller kind of storyline. And basically this is another man who is kind of like immortal, and he's very connected to a lot of mythology and Gothic eras of the long gone, right? And basically Bruce has to now face up to him because he is now killing off mob bosses, and this is from an early era, right? I think around after year one you could place it, because the mob bosses in Gotham are still very strong, and Batman has still not established himself as the Dark Knight over Gotham. And there's a very beautiful page in which I'll just show you guys, right? Just showing some opening pages, and then it jumps into some history of Batman when he was a kid, and he starts to dream of his father, that his father is trying to tell him something, right? And in parallel, of course, the mob bosses are getting killed. Nobody knows by whom, right? And the remaining mob bosses starts getting a call that you are next, right? They kind of get a poem which is like a hint that you are next, kind of, right? Anyway, while that is proceeding and they are getting jittery, they do the one thing which they would have not done in any other scenario, which is to call upon Batman for help, right? And that is this scene, this brilliant two pages is when you could see the bad signal here, but it's inverted, right? To call upon Batman, and he does go, and they ask them for help, and in return they say they will stay off criminal activities until this guy is caught, right? And this is a brilliant scene in which he basically tells them to fuck off, right? You and your kind have turned Gotham City into a hell, right? And now rot in it, right? And that's a very, I think this is one of the finest moments of this book for me, although it doesn't involve the villain and so on and so forth, but it picks up really fast. It then takes you through some moments where Batman then thinks back to his early schoolhood time when he was sent away to a hostel, right? This it was under the headmaster called Mr. Winchester. He remembers him because the villain who is in town, they say that he doesn't have a shadow, and that was the same with his headmaster long back. So that's how he remembers, right? So he feels that there is a connection and he wants to investigate. So that's how the story kicks off, and then he finally gets to meet against the antagonist here, Mr. Whisper, and after an encounter, right, which is shown beautifully in these two pages here, that's when he discovers that this guy has more history to him than just being his old headmaster, right? Because even after falling down from the rooftop, he doesn't die, means there is something more sinister to this guy. And that's how the plot starts thickening, and he starts doing some background searches to find out what exactly is the history behind this guy. So all in all, I feel it's a fantastic read, right? And the way Grant Morrison ties it up to some mythology and some legends which are shown in these panels. They've shown it in a crimson yellow kind of way, where they show the past and then connects it to this guy who is haunting Gotham right now is fantastic, right? And the artwork also stands out because the whole book has a creepy feel to it. It's meant to spook you out. It's meant to bring out some ghosts in the cupboard kind of. So I'm not going to spoil the fun of what exactly is the how all this ties up together, but it has a lot of background stuff happening, like in multiple layers, so as to speak, to make it a very riveting story to go through, right? And finally, obviously, Batman figures it all out and then takes upon the villain, right? So now I'm just going to show you some panels, right? Again, the crimson yellow to talk about the history of the Mr. Whisper. But it brings to the fore all that you want in a Batman book: a lot of action, a lot of detective work, and the Gothic feel adds to the mystery in itself, right? So I think one of the finest works by Grant Morrison early on in his career, before he took upon the entire run of Batman and Son and beyond, right? Finally, we end the book, and then there are a couple of covers, not much, right? This is the one in which the mob bosses have switched on the bat light and waiting for Batman, who comes out of the shadows, right? And his encounter with the ghosts. Some beautiful cover art in this one, right? And it's a pretty short book, as you could see. It's a pretty short book, and it's a very, very fast-paced story. In my opinion, yes, thumbs up. Definitely a good pickup if you're a Batman fan, and a good add to your collection. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do subscribe, and please do suggest which Batman book for me to pick up next. Adios.